Alright, this should be the Kazuha new quest. Let's see where. Dun.
It's been a while since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened since then.
Many memorable events.
Yeah. So, where should we go today?
Hold up. Wait a moment. Someone's coming.
Hey, what the heck was that for?
Whoa, that sword's glowing as well. What?
Doesn't want to talk, huh? Alright, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Wait, his sword is different. Whoa. Oh. Okay, who are you? Oh.
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all. Seems like I've mistaken you for some...
At the very least, you should know. Wait, even when you've got the right person.
Have you ever met someone by the name of... He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision.
Why are you
That's
looking for
none
him?
of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
Follow him? Did we follow him?
What the heck is this guy's problem? Well, one thing's for sure. No
Very
one
smart for
telling him
once.
anything. Hey, anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell... Oh? What kind of hunt?
I think this guy may have a special
A
connection.
special connection? You mean beyond already knowing
The
each
fighting
other?
style is similar. Yeah, that guy literally using the like Kazuha skill.
Anyway, there's Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
Oh, Beta. Strange friendless road. No problem. Boop, boop, boom. Dun, 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 dun. There we are. The Crux Beta, Kazuha. Oh, Chow.
Hey,
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after.
Two.
Well, if it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time.
oh, so you still don't know what he did.
I've heard bits and pieces. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be?
You could compare it to technical beta used to strike out
Really?
Asian.
He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely
After all, the raiding
unimaginable.
Shogun's mindset has changed.
Thank you. Guess we'll...
All right then.
Huh. What up, Mac? How's it going? Is it oh, wow, that's too far. Is it usual, Mac? Is it you have the usual, or is everything different today? Bum 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 bum. Womp. Tenryo Commission headquarters. Womp. Yeah, oh, okay. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's alright. You'll be fine. Oh! Yo, Kaza!
Oh? It's you.
Oh, and the dude, I forgot his name.
Greetings. We were just discussing the
Ah,
repealing of the
Kamaji.
Vision Hunt Decree. We invited Mr. Kaedaehara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the year. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaedaehara name. Regarding the history of the Kaedaehara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed?
Heard a thing or
In
two.
short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaedaehara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil.
Oh yes, I'm finished on VTuber Store and waiting for the artist to... Oh, interesting! Wait, so which? Well, and since you write it, which one do you prefer, the first one or the second story?
We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Considering Mr. Kaedaehara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, in the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui,
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the almighty Shogun, and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. With the Kaedaehara clan's reputation and occupation restored, you will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City, with the almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements, yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaedaehara, and the art of blade making for which it stood.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer,
Malicious rumors?
well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedaehara really parried the Shogun's strike.
Was it the guy that we meet?
Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo.
What? But that doesn't make sense.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, but perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
To be honest, I hate them both. Oh, really? Where am I getting caught? Oh, no problem, no problem.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
In fact,
Oh, I just said
let
what
us
I
put this
said.
discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
There's the guy who's trying to
Why
slice
would
you.
such a dangerous individual be looking for me?
Would it be someone you train with under the same
No.
master?
This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedaehara sword art. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle.
All the more reason to watch your back!
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer.
Oh.
I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Alright, no problem. Thank you,
Come on.
Kanji.
Let's go and track down your aggressor.
Alright.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
Boom. Bum, 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 bum. Oh. Ryuji. Oh, is that the detective one? Ah, yes. Sango and Ryuji. Yo, Ryuji.
Hey there! Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him?
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedaehara.
You are too kind.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Mr. Kaedaehara is currently the talk of the town. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedaehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want.
Millions?
Please,
Oh.
accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. Sorry, I got a little off topic.
Kazuha's very
But I wouldn't
famous.
know.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. The Tenryo Commission had very few leads.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the street. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that...
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
Oh wait, they actually look kind of alike. Look at that. However, if Kazuha eyes is actually yellow, pretty close.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people
True.
possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now.
It was also not easy for me to fight him off.
I am well aware of your talent. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me.
Oh, I see.
For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedaehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
I'm back. Oh, welcome back. Did you notice that? I noticed that the moment. No, I mean, when Kazuha is out, everyone just keep praising about how they're like, but then I didn't notice. Kind of like, but when the moment when they look at Paimon, my brain was like, oh wait, that actually kind of similar, you know?
You flatter me.
You are much too humble. Oh, actually, let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the...
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato.
Amenoma.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the
Yuya.
owner of Amenoma Smith.
Yuyo!
2 grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is...
Understood. Though it seems highly
Oh,
unlikely
investigate both
to me.
incidents at the same time.
I neither know this man, nor...
Sure, can't hurt.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll...
Sounds good.
What's up about the story? I guess. Yo.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedaehara Kazuha.
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes. The Kaedaehara and Amenoma clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited
I
Mr.
see.
Amenoma to pay my respect. Yes. You may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden from the Iridori Festival.
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, as an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water. There is nothing mystical to our work. As for the art of the Kaedaehara clan,
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind, for only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts.
indeed. Most samurai choose their blades. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
You overestimate me. But let's get back on topic. We hope to assist with the investigation.
Ah, yes. My nephew. He didn't say a word before he left, but I've done what I can so far.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too.
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato. After that, the next thing I heard was
fire?
that a fire had broken out at the warehouse. Yes. Strange, isn't it? If I had to guess, he's never been particularly interested in blade forging. He is extraordinarily talented in martial art.
Truth be told, based on the evidence we have gathered so far,
What? No. Absolutely impossible. He is humble and kind. Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced. Anyway, should you find him,
don't worry. You have our word.
Alright.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
I had them both, I think, put too much effort. Oh, I see. It looks like it is alright.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the 2 men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the...
I mean, you put too much effort on something, sometimes it could be a good. Not always bad. Why do you want me to teleport every time? Oh, that worked.
I'm very sorry, but my husband has gone missing and...
No, you misunderstand us.
Ah, I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state.
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. Everything was fine when we first got married.
Uh-oh.
He lost his sense of restraint. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. On the last day that I saw him...
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the After I said those words, his voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
If I hate that, I probably hate it too, but then I go, what? It's important to set the boundary.
Had I not indulged his bad habits, and I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, the next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire.
I see. Amin Omeyuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so... I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home, now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire.
Oh.
Even though I'm still a little mad at him.
Sakaki,
We're
I'm
a
sorry.
family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf.
Please don't get upset. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, but the information we get...
A little confusing.
Let's try a change of scenery. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so...
No problem, Miss Sachiko. Sachiko. Oh, I thought it was about...
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded. Do you have any thoughts?
Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
We're still missing crucial information.
Right. I very much agree with you. Working off what we know so far, there are too many things that don't add up. The chances are that there are still some clues left for us to discover. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amin Omeyuya is polite and well-mannered. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, the more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes.
To make the case of
Just
the attacker.
Although the time frame seems to broadly match, Amin Omeyuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one.
Let's keep going. Since if we can solve the case, both Mr. Aminoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
Maybe they burn with a warehouse? I mean, they could. They could be like burned to ashes. But who knows? Let's investigate first. Let's just hope that they are still alive. You know, let's let them alive first. Unless the story is the other way around, then I'm sorry for Miss Sachaki. Was it Sachaki? I believe so.
Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament.
Count on you.
Now I'm picking up a strong...
There's a guy there.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in
No one thing I
Inazuma.
expect to encounter here.
Indeed. We should remain vigilant.
They're probably dead? Well then, okay, that might be true.
So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself alone.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of
Surely
Tatarigami
someone would have
energy at that
noticed.
time. From what I've been told, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder.
So what should we do now?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside.
thanks,
If we don't
dear.
open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry.
And
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing.
Too scary.
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami.
Enough for to delay.
Yes, let's go. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you.
Okay. Maybe it was a serial killer. Could be. Oh, whoa! Okay, well, I didn't expect that to be like this. Look at this black mist.
From this point, the trail appears to split into two. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance,
Mr. Nagato
but a
and
small portion
Ameno
remained
Yuya?
here. Quite possibly.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls. They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing your attention. Let's take a closer look.
How many of you are there? Yeah, go away. Well, that worked.
It's,
Ugh! Look at this red stuff.
by the looks of it, well,
I'm Nagato. I was wounded by Ameno Yuya. He took my most precious place. I chased him, but could not catch him. I lay down here to rest on account of my exhaustion. I thought that I might croak here, right here. My stomach kept on bleeding, but it seemed that some strange power has sustained me. Why did he steal the blade? I was going to sell it to him. He even burned my warehouse down. Oh, it hurts. It hurts! But for some reason, I can't fall unconsciousness, so all I can do to distract from the pain is write. What will happen to Shachiko, Yuichi, and Yuji? I'm sorry to them. I really am. Only now I do realize the stuff in my way I was, and how blind to my possessions. I must have been cursed. I collected all those strange and bizarre things, but they won me not one iota of happiness or warmth. Put all of it together, and it still wouldn't have been worth a single word from her mouth. Thank you, and sorry for letting you down, Sachiko. Oh,
according to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato.
interesting. You can't get unconsciousness. I can't speak today. Wow. Maybe they melt together into an amalgamation and Traveler would have. What in the word? That's
Yuya
weird.
started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after
Yeah,
this
more important
point.
thing right now.
Yes. Right now, we need. If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately,
Right. So let's get moving.
Is it not in his
I
nature?
wouldn't be surprised. For a practitioner of the martial art, all the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnect, I have a hypothesis that
Wait, you figured it out?
I believe so. On with the search. We must stay vigilant.
Mm-hmm. Yahoo! Woo! Whoa, 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 whoa. Shh. Dun, dun, dun. So you yet? Nah, I'm not saying kill yet. It probably wound. So he bleed, and he's not dead. Maybe he already died. We're not sure yet.
Why here? Is there any...
I'm not sure.
Show yourself.
Oh, whoa! We noticed.
Kaedaehara Kazuha.
It's the guy.
It's you, at last.
Aha! What's your problem, huh?
Look, the
Indeed,
sword.
there should be no enmity between us. If it is Ame no Meyuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Ame no Meyuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
There, that's the blade. It was like shining stuff. The blade.
Now that you mention it... Whoa! Surely you don't...
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in it. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, or rather as a means to occupy Ame no Meyuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition as a descendant of the Kaedaehara clan.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft, and sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
Whatever, just kill him. Be done. That why are you so savage?
Swords? Can become conscious?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. After the death of my creator, I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
Oh, look, it's shining. It starts.
Might of Ishin art.
So Ame no Meyuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? When they got tired or injured or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line.
You're...
After I returned to Inazuma, at long last, Kaedaehara Kazuha, now, give your body over to me!
Oh, you wanna fight? Alright, let's go. I'm ready to fight. Bam, bam, brrrr. Wait a second. Wait. I wanna see what his build is. Fill it. That's what I'm talking about. The best. Alright, you don't want to see happy ending? Why? You know what? I'm just gonna use Kazuha because it's a one-on-one battle.
Join me and sever that divine light!
Oh, okay, that's new. I just use Ether and Kazuha at the same time.
Time to go.
The wind knows me.
Join me and sever that divine light!
One with nature.
Yeah, that's like Kazuha. This wind and cloud.
Slowly write history!
Are you going down, sir?
Join me and sever that divine light! A piece of me!
Kazuha, let's do this. Now!
Rewrite history!
That ult, let's go!
Don't stand in my way.
Your bluff's fooling no one.
Lost.
I can never lose. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me. He is but a puppet that can be
And we
replaced.
smash you into
The end
pieces.
result is the same. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. By any means necessary.
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all
Oh.
that just from his moves?
Happy ending always. Oh, dude. Kazuha legit pick up the fish fillet sword going around. Yeah, the best sword in the world, baby. Not to mention, there's such thing as happy ending is unrealistic.
As I've mentioned before, since the blade is currently possessing Aminome Yuya's body, if you ask me,
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin Art's secrets. In that regard,
because all of that is in the past, I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. Now that I've seen inside your mind, after all the time that's passed, you have...
Oh, that's right.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did... Well, that brings me to my second point. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition. I think you realized your limitations long ago. But the way I see it...
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired? Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art, but how could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony?
Silence! I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive.
And you should face reality.
Easy for
Snap
you to
back
say.
to reality.
I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. It is pointless to argue further.
How stubbornly you stick to your... I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state.
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his
Very well. Then once we have dealt with them...
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose...
I accept...
Don't do this, Kazuha!
You're dealing with a cursed blade that can possess
This is
you,
the only way to save Aminome Yuya. The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsession.
What?
Even if things take a turn for the worse, we have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept
it's
the
not like I can
risks.
stop
Your
you.
disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance now.
Alright, Kazuha, let's do this. Take the... Ooh. Ooh.
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy at first. It's all right. So far, this was
Listen,
as
girl,
I
let me know.
expected. I will.
What should we do next?
We find some... Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights.
Oh. I was surprised knowing that. Oh wait, I said nothing. Sad ending is not always the choice. Happy ending ain't an option either. You want a wife with 2 children living the husband part of death, or he's dead. In any other case, but how else when the blade? Sometimes life is like that, you can't change it. I don't feel like it's an option here, Paul. I can tell you from soon nothing will happen. I mean, none of them are either option. It's either you get the good one, or you get the bad one. Like, you can't always choose, you can't always get the bad one, and you can't always get the good one. You can either pick one of them. I mean, you can't pick. It just happened. It just happened. You can't
If
pick
a
any.
blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, if he wants to avoid reality,
Wait a minute. Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret
That
base,
should fill the
it's
bill.
gonna be held by Roni.
all right.
What about Aminoma Yuya?
The blade says he'll let Aminome Yuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay, fine.
Alright, let's do this! Fight time! Ah. Fate decides. I don't know. It just happened. And now he held the blade like it's nothing. We shouldn't wait for the bad. Wish for the good and rise stronger from the bad. You sound like you know those like even if you have thousands or millions of bad things happen, you're just like, it's okay, I'm gonna keep going. I mean, this is good though, that's good. I'm not saying that's bad, I'm saying that's actually pretty good. And you have that kind of mindset, you know? Just keep going for the good. Some people said they can't go anywhere, some they said they want to go bad, someone say good. I would say, nah. Occupied hold. Ah, alright, let's go. Battle begin. Dun 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 dun. Come on. Alright, let's do this.
Leave everything on this journey.
Whoa.
To me.
Oh, okay, we're solo, let's go!
One with nature.
You wanna play? Let's play! Aha! How's this? Bam, 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 bada bam, boom. Oh, that's no, this day is not your lucky day, brothers. Please adorn my night.
One with nature.
Whoa, that's so sick!
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, he is instead trying to match my fighting rhythm. Let's keep going.
Oh, so he's on his size. Probably, because if he... Oh, whoa, don't hide. Can't hide from me. Alright, if that's the sword ones, let's do it!
Let's get down to business. Into the wind.
Not today!
The wind knows me. Time to go. As one with wind.
It's your luck. No, actually, no. Unlucky day, my dude. Yeah. Goodbye. Say goodbye to this guy. Put a bit done. Bum. Oh.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
You've grown
I
dimmer.
can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer.
But what would that do to Amanumi?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up. He's still trying to achieve his goal.
Alright, well, if that's the case, let's keep going. Oh, everything looks weird. Ambush? Oh, hello! You must be the ambush dude.
Into the wind.
Alright, Mr. Sword, is this what you want? Let's do this. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't do that to me.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Whoa.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire...
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again.
Perhaps this time, we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
The wear and tear
If
serve.
you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy.
Will he listen to
I
you?
finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet.
Oh.
You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that?
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming
You shouldn't fight with this blade anymore.
Yep, we can help.
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more...
Ah. Oh, so we're back to the Philip blade. Whoa, let's go! Philip blade doing some damage, baby! Brrrah. You wanna fight? I'm ready and on. Ow!
Wind strike! Clouds high. The birds come!
Well done.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedaehara in flesh and in spirit. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, too much time has passed. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but this blade has traveled the land with me for many years. Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but...
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. I feel a great sense of regret for you. The moment you embarked on this journey, you have known this for a long time.
He gave me everything. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him...
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
Aw.
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things.
Oh, I see. Alright.
When I touched the hilt for the first time, a bladesmith lay quietly on the bed. A newly forged blade lay by his side.
Wow. That was the blade's memory.
Indeed. He spent the rest of his life in the forge. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, so he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith.
So that's the true story. But after that...
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities. Yes. It is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. He seems to have calmed down, though.
Alright.
When I look back at the past, I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. But darkness, not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, but I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. So, may I...
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too?
It has to be done in this order, and my physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again. Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. You are a fine warrior.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. He must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood.
Aw.
I see. I utterly despise him and his actions. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I do not wish to be a mere victim in the...
There's no need to worry.
Thanks for your help.
All right, then let's
Oh.
move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. In any case, for a final duel,
I just want to look on if there's anything around. Any other chests? Or is that the only chest? Is this the only one single chest that was here? Ah! Second one! Any more? Seemed like a no to me. What's the matter with your hair? Bong! Boom! Oh, wait. Dun dun dun. Because you're strong. On this side, entirely satisfied. You understand why I want to build BTS? It's okay. You can build whatever you want. In any way you want, or a bet, whatever. It's okay, Meg. It's alright. It's just a different opinion, you know? You're upset, but it's fine. You're probably should try to find something that cool you down, though. Don't be upset every time.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash.
Trust me. Upset every time is the worst thing happening. It occurred to me once. That was much more relaxed occasion.
Still, are you ready?
ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin art.
Successor of Amenoma art.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
Battle begin.
One with nature.
Oh, so that's the art.
Into the wind.
Not gonna lie, that attack move from the samurai dude actually remind me of the one of the anime I watched.
One with nature.
With the character also using the same fighting style. Let's finish this. Oh, whoa, we bounce up.
Thank you for the experience. Although he appears battered and broken, his sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away.
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness. It is too late for all of...
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedaehara Kazuha. I beseech you.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedaehara to do the right thing.
Thank you.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure.
As I said, spy is my main. Okay, it's alright. Just live your life. Just live your life, man. You can see whatever you want. As long as try not to ruin or participate in others people's life, then it's good. Samurai Duel of Honor.
It's Yuya!
I am sorry to have troubled you.
A prized Ishin blade. But I have some good news as well.
Really?
Yes. Badly wounded, and now that Yuya is back...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way!
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. I have decided to let him do it.
The decision is
Thank you.
yours.
I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin.
Whoa, his eye. Oh!
My power is almost spent.
Whoa!
Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything. You mean...
Yes, the cost is my entire consciousness.
Yo! Oh, is he gonna... Oh! He's gonna repair himself! Wait, that's actually quite... Whoa!
You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to
Oh,
come.
he's repairing it!
Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedaehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish.
Oh, whoa. That looks like he's about to kill me.
Thank you, son of the Kaedaehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all.
Whoa.
I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind.
Whoa, okay, whoa.
Kagotsurube Ishin
Whoa, that's a sword!
is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
Oh, wait, so that guy died. Okay, I shouldn't have, I was supposed to be happy?
So,
I didn't thought he would
that's why he
die.
said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after...
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really, really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them.
The remains of defeated gods are nothing to scoff at.
I understand. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that
I
you
will
will have my
hold you to
assistance
your words.
whenever you need it.
Wait, shouldn't we also go update Kujo?
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made.
Oh. Let's go! Ba, 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 ba. Boom, pow. Dun, da, 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 da. Yo, Kuchikamji! Oh, wait, what? Yeah, there you go. Hey, buddy! For some reason, he looked like a friend of mine who's also a streamer called Homodachi. Pink hair. Nice, without glasses.
You've returned. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse.
Wow, you
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaedaehara
Looks
clan.
so shiny.
By means of a series of fortuitous events. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations.
I see.
The Kaedaehara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may...
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware.
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or...
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again as for my next destination. Let's see where the wind takes me.
Oh, we're both. Oh, whoa! Actually, the wind. Both traveler have their different way. That should be it. There you go. A strange and friendless road. That was amazing. I have the sword. Whoa! Sorry, I just want to see the sword. And bam. Oh, great. Now I have to. Oh, fine. I'll do that after then. Well, that was the quest. Now all I have to do is that. No, that.